gotta be honest. Kind of feels like you can't escape the AI stuff these days, right?
Yeah, totally. It's everywhere.
Every single day, bam, there's some new tool or some crazy image or everyone freaking out about robots. It's a lot to keep up with.
Seriously, it feels like we're just chasing headlines half the time.
Mm,
Like just trying to grasp what AI even is right now.
right. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive. We're going beyond just the hype, trying to actually climb what AI, by any other name, our source for today calls this AI ladder.
Love that visual.
Right. So we're going from the stuff we kind of know, like chatbots, all the way up to, well, systems that could totally change how we understand, like the idea of organization itself.
Big stuff. Okay, so first things first. We keep hearing about this conversational AI everywhere we turn. And honestly, it seems kind of self-explanatory, right? AIs are already having conversations, so what's the big deal?
You know, it's funny you should say that because it's a question a lot of people have. On the surface, it seems pretty straightforward, but it's actually a much bigger deal than it might appear.
Okay, break it down for us.
So the article makes this comparison to early humans figuring out tools for the very first time.
It lays it all out in a way that almost makes sense.
Right. Okay, so rung one on this AI ladder, conversational AI, which honestly sounds kind of basic next to, robot overlords and all that. But the article, it makes this comparison to early human tools, and it's surprisingly insightful.
It's true. And it kind of highlights how the tools themselves aren't the real game changer. It's what they let us do next.
No,
You know?
I'm intrigued. Go on.
Well, think about it, right?
Hmm.
The wheel, the hammer, those weren't like, whoa, mind-blown inventions on their own.
Mm.
But they completely changed what humans were capable of doing.
And that's exactly where we are with conversational AI right now. It's not about perfection, it's about potential.
So it's not just about AIs being able to, like, chat about the weather or tell us a corny joke. There's something more substantial going on here.
Exactly. See, when we talk about teaching AI to converse, we're not just talking about making small talk. We're talking about giving AI the fundamental building blocks of communication itself.
Which brings us to rung two, reasoning AI.
Reasoning AI. Okay, so is that where it starts getting, like, truly smart?
See, that's the thing. It's not really about AI being smart the way humans think about it. It's more about this ability to actually apply knowledge to brand new problems totally on its own. I mean, for the longest time, the challenge with AI wasn't just making it think. It was making it think reliably and consistently, all on its own, without any hand-holding.
And that is a huge hurdle to overcome. It's the difference between, say, memorizing multiplication tables and truly understanding the concept of multiplication. Once you understand the underlying principle, you can solve any multiplication problem, not just the ones you've memorized.
That is a perfect analogy, and that's what we're talking about with reasoning AI, right? It can take its knowledge and apply it to new situations, new problems, and come up with solutions it was never explicitly programmed to handle.
You got it. So instead of ChatGPT just spitting out facts, a reasoning AI could actually learn, like the rules of physics.
Exactly. Or economics, or you name it. And then it can use those rules to solve problems that it's never even encountered before. And here's the kicker. OpenAI, the folks behind ChatGPT, are saying they're already at this stage. And get this, the article mentions that they found this leap from chatbot to reasoning surprisingly tough.
Really?
Yeah, but now that they've kind of cracked the code, who knows how fast things could move?
Okay, that's already kind of freaking me out a little, but the next level is where things get really interesting. And maybe a little scary, if we're being honest.
Oh yeah, what's next?
Autonomous AI.
Autonomous AI. The stuff of science fiction, and, let's be honest, a few nightmares as well.
It's funny you should say that because a lot of people immediately jump to those kind of dystopian scenarios when they hear autonomous AI, robots taking over the world and all that. But the reality, as always, is a bit more nuanced. So OpenAI defines autonomous AI as AI systems that can essentially operate on their own for extended periods of time. We're talking days, even without any human intervention. And I get it, that might sound a little intimidating at first, but it's not about some single all-powerful AI calling the shots.
Addict.
So no robot uprising.
Not yet, at least. Think of it less like sci-fi robots running wild and more like specialized AI workers. Each one handling its own tasks without us humans needing to micromanage every little thing.
Okay, so less Terminator, more like my dream assistant who actually gets things done.
Exactly.
Okay, that I can get behind. So am I really supposed to believe that one AI can handle all of that?
Okay, so it's less about one AI to rule them all And more about a network of these specialized AIs,
Hmm.
each one crazy good at its own thing, all working together like a well-oiled machine.
So one AI might be an email whiz, another one's a scheduling guru, and they just, what, message each other like, hey, need that report by Friday.
Basically, the AI that rocks at writing might be clueless about calendars, so it just shoots a message to the scheduling AI for help.
Hmm.
It's this whole AI to AI communication thing that makes this level of autonomy actually possible.
It's about collaboration, not domination.
I like the sound of that. So give us an example. How would this kind of AI teamwork actually play out in the real world?
Sure. Let's say you have an AI assistant that's trying to schedule a meeting for you. Now, let's say this AI assistant realizes it doesn't have all the information it needs to make that happen. Instead of just throwing its hands up in the air and giving up, it can reach out to other AI systems, like a calendar bot, to get what it needs.
So it's like AI networking, except instead of swapping business cards, they're swapping data and insights.
Exactly. It's all about information sharing and collaboration, not some kind of hostile AI takeover.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better about the whole robot uprising thing. Just like with successful human teams, it's all about leveraging each other's strengths.
Okay, so maybe if the robots are taking over, they're at least taking notes from our good qualities, right?
Let's hope so.
But okay, this next rung on the ladder, innovating AI. Are we really saying that AIs can be creative?
It's not so much about individual AIs having like these eureka moments. It's
Okay.
more about the totally unexpected solutions that can come out of this whole AI to AI communication thing. How does AI go from following instructions to coming up with the instructions themselves?
Think about how we as humans come up with new ideas. It often starts with brainstorming, right?
All right, so imagine you're in a brainstorming session, right?
Sure.
Sometimes the craziest, most out there idea, it sparks the best solution from someone else. It's like that, but on a whole other level.
Okay, so one AI might throw out an idea that seems totally off the wall, but then another AI with a totally different perspective, it grabs onto it, runs with it, and creates something amazing that neither one of them could have come up with on their own.
It's like that aha moment you get in a brainstorming session when someone suggests something totally outlandish and suddenly everyone starts connecting the dots and boom, you've got a breakthrough.
That's a great way to put it. And that's what innovating AI is all about.
Exactly. And because they're communicating digitally, all of this can happen at warp speed.
It's a bunch of AIs bouncing ideas off each other at lightning speed 24/7 without ever needing a coffee break.
Okay, that is both amazing and a little intimidating, which begs the question.
What happens when AIs are bouncing ideas off each other at the speed of light, not held back by, human limitations? What could they come up with?
Exactly. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Okay, so we've climbed from like basic chatbots all the way to AIs that are out here collaborating and innovating like nobody's business. And I gotta be honest, part of me is starting to wonder if there's even room for us humans on the top rung of this ladder.
That's the question, isn't it? And it brings us to the final and possibly the most mind-bending level of this whole AI ladder, organizational AI.
Organizational AI. AI running entire organizations. It's enough to make you wonder if we'll even need offices anymore.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Yeah, it's a pretty wild thought. So paint us a picture. What would that even look like? AI CEOs calling all the shots.
Well, it's not quite like that. Think of it more like a network of specialized AIs, each one managing a specific aspect of the organization, all working together seamlessly, like a perfectly synchronized orchestra.
Yeah, like all these AI agents we've been talking about, the reasoning ones, the autonomous ones, the innovators, all of them working together in this incredibly complex but also harmonious way at speeds we can barely even fathom.
Imagine a company where information flows effortlessly, decisions are made with incredible speed and accuracy, and human error is practically non existent.
Okay, now I'm starting to see it. So instead of one AI overlord calling all the shots, it's more like a team of AI specialists, each with their own area of expertise, working together to achieve a common goal.
You got it. Okay, I can kind of picture that, this symphony of AI.
Right.
But honestly, it sounds ridiculously complex. Like, how are we humans even supposed to manage or even understand something that intricate?
And that's where the article's final prediction comes in. To navigate this whole crazy world of organizational AI, we might have to create digital duplicates.
Hold on, digital duplicates. Are we talking about like AI clones of ourselves?
Basically, yeah. Think about it. You'd have this AI twin that's been trained on you, understands your goals, your values, even your work style, and it represents you in this whole complex AI ecosystem, interacts with other AIs on your behalf at their speed.
So while I'm stuck in traffic, my AI twin is out there in the digital world, closing deals, analyzing data, writing reports.
Exactly. And the best part is you don't have to micromanage it. You've trained it to think like you, make decisions like you, so you can trust it to handle things the way you would.
Honestly, part of me thinks that sounds amazing, but the other part of me is kind of terrified.
It's understandable to feel that way. It's a big shift. Is that this isn't about AI replacing us. It's about augmentation. Think of your AI duplicate as a conductor,
The conductor.
right? They understand your vision, your goals, the big picture,
Yes.
and they conduct this entire orchestra of AI agents to make it all happen.
Okay, so if my AI twin is the conductor, does that make me the composer? Like I provide the vision, the creative spark, and my AI counterpart makes it a reality.
Exactly. And what I find so fascinating about this whole idea of digital duplicates is that it's not just about efficiency or even getting things done faster. It's about expanding our own capabilities. Imagine being able to tackle challenges, explore ideas, and achieve goals at speeds and scales that were previously unimaginable.
It's not just about what AI can do for us, it's about how it can help us unlock these entirely new levels of human potential.
Exactly.
It's definitely a lot to wrap your head around. I think we all need a minute to process the fact that we might have AI twins running around in the digital world someday.
It's a trip, right? But it's a future that's full of possibilities.
I gotta say, even just saying digital duplicate out loud, it's kind of wild.
That's a lot to take in, right?
Totally.
But before we get too caught up in all the what ifs of the future, I think it's important to bring things back down to earth a bit.
You're right, it's easy to get swept up in all the possibilities, but at the end of the day, AI's impact on our lives really comes down to how we choose to use it. We have the power to shape this future, not just react to it.
So true.
But here's what really gets me about this. It's not just about like building smarter machines. It's almost like it's making us rethink the whole idea of what intelligence even is?
It's true. The article even kind of hints that maybe we've been looking at intelligence wrong this whole time.
Oh, how so?
Well, we tend to fixate on what we know, right? Like how many facts we can cram into our brains. But what if true intelligence is less about what you know and more about how you learn, how you adapt, how you connect with other intelligences to solve problems?
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this. So you're saying AI is making us broaden our definition of intelligence?
Exactly. Like for centuries, we've equated intelligence with, individual brilliance,
Mm-hmm.
the lone genius having a eureka moment.
Hmm.
But AI is showing us that maybe true intelligence is actually more about connection collaboration, leveraging the strengths of others.
So instead of trying to build one super AI that can do it all, we should be focusing on systems where AIs with different strengths, different perspectives, can collaborate and learn from each other.
Now you're getting it. And that's where things get really interesting because this whole interconnected model of intelligence, it might be the key to solving some of the biggest problems we face as a species.
Okay, now that you mention it, I can kind of see how this all ties back to that point the article made about early human tools. Like, you've got one person who's an amazing hunter, another who's a skilled builder. On their own, they're great. But when they start sharing their skills, their knowledge, that's when you get these incredible leaps forward.
Exactly. And with AI, we're not just talking about a few skilled individuals collaborating, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about entire networks of specialized AI agents all working together at speeds and scales we can barely wrap our heads around. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
It's a lot to take in. I feel like we're on the verge of, like, science fiction here. But okay, let's say we follow this AI ladder all the way to the top. Are we talking about a future where AIs are essentially running the show?
That's the big question, right?
Hmm.
And honestly, there's no easy answer.
Hmm.
But the article, it encourages us to think about less as AI taking over and more about us redefining what our role is in this new world.
So if my AI twin is handling all the day-to-day stuff, what's left for me to do?
Well, that's where those uniquely human qualities come in. Creativity, empathy, critical thinking, the ability to make judgment calls when things are messy,
Hmm.
ethically ambiguous.
So the AI handles the tasks that can be automated, which frees us up to focus on the things that make us uniquely human.
Exactly. It's about this beautiful synergy between human and artificial intelligence.
I gotta say, that version of the future sounds a lot less scary and a lot more exciting.
Right. It's not about us versus them. It's about finding ways to work together to create something even better than what we could achieve alone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So if our listeners were to walk away from this deep dive with just a few key takeaways about the future of AI, what would those be?
Well, first and foremost, I want to emphasize that AI isn't some mysterious, all-powerful force. It's completely out of our control. It's not some unstoppable force that's going to dictate our future. It's a tool. A very powerful tool, yes, but a tool nonetheless.
There you go. It's a great way to put it.
And just like any tool, its impact, whether it's positive or negative, ultimately depends on the hands that wield it.
That's a really important point. It's not about man versus machine, but about man with machine. Right.
Exactly. It's about finding ways to leverage the strengths of AI, its speed, its efficiency, its ability to process these massive amounts of data that would take humans years to sift through, and then combine that with our own unique capabilities as human beings. Our creativity, our empathy, our ability to think critically and solve complex problems.
Right. It's about recognizing that both humans and AI bring different strengths to the table, and that the most powerful solutions, the ones that really make a difference in the world, are going to come from collaboration, not competition.
100%. And that's why it's so incredibly crucial for everyone to be a part of this conversation. We need diverse voices from all walks of life, artists, educators, entrepreneurs, policymakers, you name it, to come together and shape the future of AI in a way that benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
It's about democratizing AI, making sure it's a force for good in the world for everyone.
That's what we should be striving for, absolutely. Protecting data privacy and ensuring that AI enhances human autonomy, not diminishes it.
It's a tall order, but it's a conversation we need to be having now, not later, right?
Right. Absolutely. The future of AI is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping that future. So stay informed, stay engaged, and keep asking those tough questions because the future is not something that just happens to us, it's something we create together.
Beautifully said.
And on that note of hopefully not so scary AI collaboration, I
Okay.
think it's time to wrap up our climb on this AI ladder.
I agree. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have. From the basics of like how chatbots work, all the way to mind-blowing concepts like organizational AI and of course our new AI BFFs digital duplicates. It's a lot to process. But hopefully this deep dive has given everyone listening a whole new way of thinking about the future of intelligence.
Totally. And more importantly, I hope it's got everyone asking some big, important questions. What does it mean to be intelligent? What does it mean to be human? These are questions we'll be grappling with for a long time. And I, for one, am excited to see where this journey takes us.
Well said. And remember folks, just because this particular deep dive is over, it doesn't mean the conversation has to end. Hit us up on social media. Let us know your thoughts on AI, the future, all of it. And until next time, stay curious.